our innovation is to harness the transformative power of games for positive behavior change and to apply that in the Zaatari refugee camp situation for Syrians in Jordan. So let me start by telling you a story. This is Hiba, and she's 14 years old. She lives in Zaatari refugee camp. Her family fled Syria due to violence. Specifically, Hiba was at risk of sexual assault, and her older brother was at risk of being recruited into a militia despite being a child himself. In the camp in Zaatari, they still face similar forms of violence. Due to the daily reality of violence in the camp, Hiba and her older brother stopped going to school. That makes them one of the 78% of children in Zaatari refugee camp not going to school. They're growing more and more bored, depressed every day, and are losing hope for their futures. So what do they do every day? Well, 90% of people in Zaatari refugee camp are going onto Facebook every single day, mostly using their phones, and are paying approximately $6 a month to do so. Some of you may ask, how in a refugee camp context are people getting online? Well, you're right, there are major obstacles. There's no electricity provided in a refugee camp, and internet connectivity is very slow. But these Syrian youth are also very clever and innovative themselves. Some of them use 3 different SIM cards from different telecoms companies, so they pop in and out of their phone at different times of the day when they figured out that one company is faster. Some of them have tapped into the public electricity grid and are selling electricity to their peers who are dying to charge their phones to get onto Facebook. So we know that there's a market for this, and we want to make the most of this reality by meeting them where they go already, on Facebook, to offer them games that can change their lives. So we mostly hear about games these days as having a negative effect on youth lives when we talk about Grand Theft Auto and the culture of violence that breeds. But actually, the Institute for the Future has done studies that prove that games can do the positive opposite of that and really ignite positive social change in youth. On one hand, games provide achievable goals for their users so that they can restore a sense of success in their lives every time they pass a level within the game. Games also are a way to occupy your time. So people log on to play the games so that they can work hard and see progress and personal growth. Games restore a sense of purpose in one's life when you play with other users and you're working towards a goal that's bigger than yourself and beyond your daily life. Finally, games can build trust and empathy. Through collaboration with others within the game, youth are agreeing to spend time together, they're agreeing to play by the same rules, and they're agreeing to value the same goals. So our role in all of this will be to convene game designers with humanitarian NGOs who know the Syrian population very well, and social behavior scientists who together can design a game that's both socially appropriate for the Syrian context and also really fun and attractive for adolescents to play. Vin will facilitate the implementation of these games in Zaatari camp by bringing telecoms companies together with UNHCR, the admins of the camp, who will distribute the games for free, will distribute cards with free Wi-Fi minutes in safe places within the camp. And these cards, in order to incentivize playing the game, will be linked to downloading the game in order to access the Wi-Fi. And then the gaming will begin. And the metrics to track impact of these games will be built into the game itself. So every time a user passes a level, data will be collected on their expanded knowledge. All of these changes start happening when, through playing the game, awareness of violence within the camp is expanded in the users. In addition, users will be educated on possible reactions and actions they can take in response to violence. Finally, through playing the game and through collaborating with others, cohorts of youth will be built in which they feel a sense of belonging and a motivation to stick with the new habits that they're learning through the game. And a critical mass will eventually be built of superpowered, hopeful people who are capable of making change in their worlds. We envision this happening through a coalition of public and private actors who are all interested in social behavior change in the region and who all bring necessary expertise to the table to make this work. So in terms of next steps, we want to see a prototype of this that can be tested in Zaatari camp with the end users. We need to explore future funding models for this. And finally, our vision of success in the long run will be that this can be adapted to be applied in different refugee contexts and to target different